One critical question is how much of the radio spectrum should be open for unlicensed uses. We take for granted the dozens of ways in which we make unlicensed use of the radio spectrum every day. Wireless microphones, cordless phones, garage door openers, remote keyless entry systems for cars, home security systems, temperature sensors, baby monitors, and Wi-Fi systems are all examples of unlicensed technologies. Unlicensed technologies are not entirely unregulated. The FCC first allowed the use of unlicensed devices in 1938, setting limits on the emissions and field strength levels the devices could produce. Wireless record players, which transmitted a signal to a nearby AM radio, were an example of an early unlicensed technology. The technical standards for unlicensed devices are designed to make it unlikely that those devices will cause any harmful interference, and unlicensed users themselves have no protection against interference. The rules governing unlicensed devices that emit radio frequency energy appear in Part 15 of the FCC's rules, so unlicensed devices are often referred to as Part 15 transmitters or Part 15 devices. So long as the user's equipment is certified by the FCC and operated in compliance with the Part 15 rules, any person may use unlicensed spectrum for public or private purposes. Over time, the FCC has revised the Part 15 rules to accommodate new devices. Under current rules, those devices can operate at low power in any band except where expressly prohibited. In addition to allowing low-power devices to operate within bands allocated for other uses, the FCC has sometimes allocated bands specifically for unlicensed uses. An important example is the opening of the so-called garbage bands at 900 MHz, 2.4 GHz, and 5.8 GHz for unlicensed use. Rather than granting a single licensee access to these bands, the FCC set technical parameters and let the public do as it pleased. The opening of these bands for unlicensed use fueled the growth of what we now know as Wi-Fi. Note the trade-off that unlicensed uses present. Providers are willing to pay billions of dollars for licenses at auctions, money that goes into the federal treasury. Opening spectrum for unlicensed use does not have that same immediate revenue-raising impact. Yet some estimates place the value of unlicensed spectrum to the economy as high as $140 billion annually.